This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Woman killed on No Movement Day in Rosetown. A woman was killed on Unity Lane in Rosetown, Kingston, Sunday morning about 11:45. She has been identified only as Maria. According to police sources, Maria was at home when armed men entered her house and shot her multiple times. The police said she received gunshots to the head and died on the spot. Councillor wants Breeze River water problem addressed. Councillor for the Breeze River Division in St. Elizabeth, Donovan Pagan, is calling for the National Water Commission to address the water problem in the Breeze River community. Residents complain that they have been without the commodity for days. Pagan says he has asked the commission to urgently address the situation. I just sent a message to the manager of the NWC responsible for this area, asking him to deal with the situation at the Brook pump. The problem has to do with the electricity. This normally causes damage to the pump, said Pagan. The residents say during situations like these, they would usually go to the river in the area to catch water, but cannot do so due to the no movement days as part of the COVID curfew. Jamaicans are to remain indoors today, tomorrow, and on Tuesday. Water woes force residents to breach no movement order. The absence of water in Majestic Gardens, Kingston 11, has resulted in some residents breaching COVID lockdown measures that have been imposed by the government. Several persons have been making trips to neighboring communities to fetch water for domestic use. One resident, who gave her name as Boros, said that the community has been without water for the past 3 days. She said that residents have no choice but to defy the no movement order that has been imposed to help slow the spread of COVID-19 on the island. The no movement period began on Saturday night and will be lifted on Wednesday morning. However, the possibility of being without water for the entire period has Majestic Gardens residents fuming. The Prime Minister needs to consider people like how him consider himself. We don't have no food or water. Away a Spanish Town Road, we have to go beg people like water so me could have bathe, Boros said. We don't have no water to sanitize no way. Him say him a try fight germs, but him a bill it because without water you can't do anything. Because we have to bathe and wash hand, she added. As Boros spoke with the news team, dozens of other residents were seen with empty containers, making their way out of the community to source water elsewhere. 3 days now we don't have no water, and enough we don't have no food either, one resident fumed. If we can't drink and we can't eat, how them expect we to stay inside? Right now, if the police stop me, me have to just tell them the truth. Say a water me a go look, because me have things in my toilet bowl when need to flush, the woman said. A male resident told the news that venturing into other communities in search of water is potentially dangerous. Right now, it's not safe to go certain places because of friction between we and other communities. But the man and the woman them have to brave it and go get water. We cannot stay inside, and the government have to understand, say, not even with hands we can't wash. You cannot have a lockdown and not a drop of water in the pipe them, he said. Contacted for comment, the Member of Parliament for the area, Dr. Angela Brown-Burke, said that she has reached out to the National Water Commission to find a solution to the issue. I wasn't aware of the situation before today, but I have reached out to the NWC and I will follow up. It is always difficult to respond the way you want to when you know late, and especially if it is a Sunday. But I have reached out and I will follow up to see what can be done to immediately alleviate the situation, she said. Attempts to contact NWC's communication manager, Andrew Cannon, proved futile. More groups added to curfew exemption. The police are reporting that 2 more groups have been added to the list of categories of persons who are allowed to traverse to and from work during the no movement periods. They are money transfer and remittance agents and the persons employed at or who operate farm stores. In addition to those 2 groups, churches have been permitted to operate on Sunday, August 22, Sunday, August 29, and Sunday, September 5. The police are reminding persons who fall into the exempt categories to ensure that they have proper identification and, where necessary, authorization letters to establish the legitimacy of their claim when stopped by the police. The full list of 52 categories of exempt persons can be found on the police's website at www.jcf.gov.jm. Persons can seek clarification from their local police or contact the JCF COVID Response Center at 876-702-5102 or 876-702-5108-9. 60 homeless persons vaccinated in corporate area. Some 60 homeless persons in the corporate area have received their first jab of the AstraZeneca vaccine during a vaccination drive on Thursday, according to Kingston Mayor Delroy Williams. He made the disclosure during an address at the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of an indigent housing project in Olympic Gardens in West Central St. Andrew on Friday. Williams said efforts will be made to have other homeless persons vaccinated against the deadly respiratory illness. We did organize a vaccination drive for members of the homeless population. We had it at the Marie Atkins shelter and the temporary shelter on Church Street in downtown Kingston, he disclosed, adding that the exercise was done in conjunction with the Ministry of Health and other agencies. The mayor continued, approximately 60 homeless persons, with some members of staff and other persons from other homes, came there and got vaccinated. That's something that we did specifically for the homeless, and if required, we will do a second exercise. And with the 7 no-movement days announced by Prime Minister Andrew Holness to curtail the rise in COVID-19 cases, Williams assured that the homeless persons will be fed during the period. We want to make it very clear to everyone that the programs for the homeless are not affected by the lockdown. So be rest assured that the feeding program for the homeless will be in full swing over the period of the lockdown, he declared. We have never ever during a lockdown not fed and cared for the homeless, he asserted. Haiti earthquake death toll passes 2,200. Haiti's Civil Protection Agency said Sunday that the toll from this month's magnitude 7.2 earthquake has grown to 2,207, with 344 people still missing. The previous figure had been 2,189 on Wednesday. The agency said via Twitter that 12,268 people were injured and nearly 53,000 houses were destroyed by the August 14 quake. The new toll comes at a time when relief operations are expanding, with U.S.-based aid agency Samaritan's Purse opened a field hospital Saturday. In the hard-hit city of Lecoy, meanwhile, some attended outdoors church services on Sunday because the sanctuaries had been badly damaged by the quake, which was centered on the nation's southwestern peninsula. 551 new COVID-19 cases, 17 more fatalities. 17 more persons have died from COVID-19 in Jamaica, pushing the tally to 1,388. Those who have died are a 62, 77, 61, and an 83-year-old woman from Kingston and St. Andrew, a 63-year-old man from Kingston and St. Andrew, a 75-year-old man from St. Elizabeth, a 67 and a 69-year-old woman from St. Elizabeth, a 41, 67, and a 92-year-old woman from Hanover, a 68 and a 72-year-old man from St. James, a 59-year-old woman from Clarendon, an 88 and a 76-year-old woman from St. Anne, and a 73-year-old man from St. Anne. The Ministry of Health says the deaths occurred between August 16 and August 20, and 2 more fatalities are under investigation, moving that figure to 118. Meanwhile, there were 551 new cases, with ages ranging from 9 days to 101 years, pushing the total to 61,833, with 12,344 being active. Of the new cases, 337 are women and 214 are men. The parish breakdown is as follows: Kingston and St. Andrew 115, St. Catherine 91, St. Anne 88, St. James 73, Manchester 57, Westmoreland 28, Trelawney 28, St. Mary 18, Hanover 16, St. Thomas 12, Portland 10, Clarendon 8, and St. Elizabeth 7. A total of 1,389 tests were conducted. The country's positivity rate stands at 44.1%. In the meantime, there were 46 more recoveries, increasing the total to 47,721. Some 573 persons are in hospital, with 114 being moderately ill and 82 severely ill and 56 critically ill. 9 persons are in government quarantine, while 43,253 are at home. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.